Filipinos celebrates Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Sponsored by Sendwave. Today, we feature Garth Garcia and LJ Moreno. Please welcome SoCal Filipinos founder, Jason Lucena.
Hey, SoCal Filipinos. This is Jason Lucena, your founder. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for this special episode of SoCal Filipinos Presents. Our kind sponsors for tonight is Sendwave. Comment now to see where you are calling from. But before we get started, I have a couple of announcements. As you can see in the group, we are talking up a lot about our anniversary. 2 years. We've just been around for 2 years, but almost 63,000 members, and we want to celebrate with all of you. It's going to be on June 18th at Kubo in Long Beach. We just announced the location, so make sure that you RSVP. It's free with RSVP. Come party with us. Come celebrate our 2-year anniversary. Another event that we do want to promote is next Saturday, June 4th, in the city of Carson, is the Philippine Independence Day celebration at Veterans Park. So make sure you come out there and just enjoy the day with your fellow kababayan. And like I mentioned today, that our special episode is sponsored by Sendwave. Before we get to our special guest, let's go watch a quick video.
Wala naman ako choice.
Go, 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 kababayan! Todo na to!
Pero ikaw si
Friend, anong meron?
magpapadala ng pera kay mama.
Haba ng pila. Eto, oh.
Mag-Sendwave ka na.
Fast, secure, daming payout options pa. No lines, no fees, no hassle, diba?
Switch to Sendwave na.
Break it down, yo!
Dito ulit?
Iba to. Masarap daw ang pizza dito.
Well, thank you again for joining us. Today's episode is sponsored by Sendwave. And let's just get to our 2 special guests that we have here tonight, here in SoCal Filipinos. First off, we have singing and recording artist, the Filipino, the Philam OPM Prince of Garth Garcia. Let's bring him on. Hey Garth, how's it going?
Hey everybody. Hello SoCal Filipinos, and of course, thank you Sendwave for making this possible. Thank you, Jason.
No, thank you for being here. And next we have actress and social media content creator, LJ Moreno.
Hello.
Hi, LJ.
Hi, Garth. Hi,
Hey,
Jason.
LJ.
And of course, to all the viewers. Hello. Good evening.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. So for everybody, again, that's watching, make sure you comment and say where you are calling from. We want to see, or watching from. We want to see where all of you are viewing. But anyway, how are you two doing, Garth, LJ? How's the weather? I know, LJ, you said that it's a little bit warm. You had to have your sister turn up the AC.
Yes. Earlier, I was like, oh my gosh, it's so hot up here because I'm on the 2nd floor. I'm here in Roseville, Sacramento area. So we were like in the 90s yesterday. But yeah, doing great though. Good to be here with you and Garth. Excited to chat with you guys and with all the viewers, of course.
What about you, Garth?
Yeah, it's pretty cold here. Not that hot yet, diba? But when kanina when I went to my car, it's outdoor parking, so that's when I felt that it's kind of hot. But yeah.
Don't you drive like a black car, so it's like all hot inside?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, me too. So let's go ahead and get started. I just have a couple questions, so that way we can get to know all of you. I'm sure many of the viewers already know who the both of you are, but let's just talk about where you grew up in the Philippines. Let's start off with you, LJ, and like how was life there?
Okay, where I grew up, actually, I grew up in Southern California. So I moved there when I was 5. I lived in the Philippines till I was 5 years old. Then we moved to the Valley, there in the Northridge area. And then, so for the most part, until I was around 15, I was here stateside. Then I moved back to the Philippines back in 95, 96. That's when I started acting. And I've been there since, until fast forward pandemic, we ended up moving here in
Mm.
2020. That was September 2020 because of, COVID, everything that happened. A lot of people's lives changed, plans changed. Yeah, my husband was born and raised out here, but he was playing professional basketball in the Philippines. That's where we met.
Mhm.
But during the pandemic, that was the first time in 20 years he wasn't tied up with any team. So he felt like, okay, maybe this is a chance for me to go back home because all his family's here. Go back home, and we felt like it wasn't good for the kids. They were locked up for what, 6 months. So we decided to move here, stateside, and then thankfully he got an offer to be an assistant coach with Coach Bobby Jackson for the G League team of the Kings. That's why we ended up in Sacramento, because we first moved to Southern California. We were in Chino Hills for a year. After a
Yeah.
year we moved again, so a lot of moving the last 2 years. A lot.
Well,
Yeah.
well, I was gonna say hopefully that maybe he'll get something with the Lakers. That way you can come back down to
I
LA.
know,
Because
right?
we're
That
just
would be
saying Southern
nice.
California. I don't know how many Sacramento Kings fans there are.
Yeah, that would be nice because our family's all in Southern California.
Awesome. What about you, Garth?
Ako naman, I grew up in Davao. That's the southern part of the Philippines. I grew up there, and that's why I speak Cebuano. So for sure, a lot of our SoCal Filipinos, marami dyan mga Cebuano. Shout out to you guys, mga Bisaya. And then I moved to Manila when I went to college, and then ilan ba, 6 years ago I moved na dito sa States because my family has been living here for a long time, and it's time for me to you know to bond with them, or to see them in person, to um, spend time with them. So they've been telling me to come here, but yeah, I finally decided ano lang, mga 6 years ago, and I love it here so far. Ayoko na umuwi eh.
So, like, when you all decided to immigrate here, was that a tough decision? I know, LJ, you kind of hinted at why you decided to come here, but was that a tough decision,
Oh,
especially with, like, with having kids? What was
oh,
that?
for me it was like, if like people know me, even my friends in the Philippines were like, "What? Are you serious? What happened? Why all of a sudden you're okay with it?" Because Jimmy would always toy with the idea, especially since like in 2019, we were actually right before the pandemic, the summer before the pandemic, we were here. He was invited by the Kings also to join the summer league coaching staff. So he was already talking about, what if we, move, and I'm like, "Are you out of your mind?" Because in the Philippines, we're comfortable. We have all the help. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna. I miss my helpers. I miss my driver. It's
Yes.
comfortable there. But then I
Mhm.
always say it was really just God. And Jimmy probably prayed a lot, because then after a while, I'm just like, okay, well, we are on lockdown, because when we moved, talagang it was the middle of the pandemic. It was the time where no one was at the airport. LAX
Mm.
was like, because it was September 2020, so there was nothing ano talaga. And in the Philippines, I was like, okay, so what are we gonna? My business was doing well because I had a cake shop for 10 years, and we were selling. We got into the pandesal and all that stuff, and because it was pandemic, the food business boomed, right? The food delivery, we had Lala Move, Grab, everything. So we were doing well, but Jimmy's like, okay, but what am I gonna do? Because the ABL, which is the ASEAN Basketball League where he was coaching, they shut down, and the
Mm.
PTA also shut down. So it's like, okay, so I was like, okay, let's pray about it. Let's pray about it. I said, I'll only entertain the thought if you get like a job offer or something. So he's like, how am I gonna get a job offer? It's a pandemic and this and that. But then I always say it was God ordained talaga, because he got he got a text from his high school, or no, college coach. It was saying, Jimmy, if you do decide to come out here, I have a spot on my team. um you might want to join me for, but this was like a college there in Southern California. So that was the
Mm.
first like initial offer. So I was like, okay, maybe God is talking to me, we'll see. And then I said, let's wait a little bit longer, because when we moved, he didn't have the job here in Sacramento yet. When we moved, it was really like, okay, let's just see, let's try, because yeah, we had nothing to lose at the time because everything was
Mhm.
on lockdown. So yeah, we decided to move, And then yeah, the blessing from Sacramento came, his invite to work out here. So yeah, now I could say I've adjusted. I still miss, and I will forever miss my yayas. And I still hold on to the hope. I mean, I have 3 kids. I know Garth has his son, right? How old's your son,
Mhm.
Garth?
9.
9.
He's
Okay,
9.
yeah, he's the same age as my son. But I got 3. I have a 4-year-old, I have a 7. So I have my hands full. So I'm still hoping and praying that I can get my yaya over here.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned like the businesses from the pandemic, because I know a lot of businesses were born from the pandemic. I'm a baker, but I still have had it before the pandemic. But
Yeah.
when that hit, everybody wanted their desserts, they wanted their cookies, they
Yes.
wanted their cakes. So it was
Yes.
one of, although it was not a great year for everybody, but it was a great year for like my business.
It was like for me also. That's why I was like, baby, what are you talking about? Move to the States. The business is doing well. Why am I gonna move to the States when everyone all of a sudden wants to buy pandesal or wants to buy cake? And at the time I was scared. I was like, maybe the business isn't gonna do well because everything's on lockdown. But everyone wanted all the delivery services open, diba?
Mhm.
Mhm.
So yeah. So there. That's our story.
What about you, Garth?
Ako naman, when I was about to move here, when I was approved to move over here, I was in the middle of releasing my second album. I already recorded a full album, and I just about to sign to a major label because I was on a different label before. But when one of my songs, the first album, became one of the theme songs sa isang teleserye, they signed me, and then yeah, we just finished recording the album, and we're about to promote it and release it. And then that's the time that I was, I know, I'm already approved to come here. So I was, I know, deciding, but of course, my parents, my mom especially, na siya ang mas more, nagko-convince. She was telling me, oh, think about, parang long term. And so I decided to come here. And in the beginning, it was a bit of a struggle kasi, di ba nga, sabi nga ni LJ, mas madali doon. You can easily, di ba, pay somebody to drive for you, or when you go to shows, especially as an artist, go to shows, may ano ka doon, uso doon, may PA ka, may assistant ka.
Yeah.
Pero dito, you go alone. Alam mo yun, there's a bit of adjustment, especially then that you have to work. Kasi ako, of course, when you come here, you don't get to sing right away. You don't get to like open a business right away. So I have to do different jobs. I've experienced a lot of jobs that you can think of. But so far, okay naman. Right now, yeah.
So
far,
how is it being?
Doing well naman si Garth.
Yeah, I think you're being recognized as like young CEO. I think I saw that somewhere. So congratulations on that award. That's coming up, or did you already get that already?
Yeah, that was it last year. Because
Oh.
we started a medical business, so that's what we're doing right now.
Oh, nice. So like you kind of hinted at that. So we'll stay with you. But what were some of the challenges about immigrating to the U.S.?
Ako muna. Is it me?
Yeah,
first?
we'll stay with you.
I can't English anymore. Hello to
Go ahead.
everybody who's
Okay.
watching. I don't have a phone with me, so I can't say hi to everybody na nag-message dyan. But so when we moved here, ako muna pala, because my wife just followed our kid. Yun nga, the challenge was I have to work different jobs. I did popcorn selling sa mga stadiums. I experienced barista, making coffees. I also did pet walking, like like the dog walker. Is that what you call it? Yeah, and I also tried part-time caregiving. What else did I do? Ang dami eh. I tried all different jobs. That's a bit of a challenge for me because when I was in the Philippines, I was doing music, I was writing, I was also a college professor, believe it or not.
Wow.
So when you go here, you don't have hindi ka pwedeng, you choose a job that you want right away. So to support yourself, kailangan mong, accept whatever's coming for you. So that's the challenging part for me. Yun lang naman.
And Garth, if you want to speak in Tagalog, you can. I understand.
Yeah.
I can't respond.
You understand. That's good. I didn't know you understood. That's good.
I didn't know you speak Tagalog, Jason.
Marunong pala
I know.
mag Tagalog na
parang-
tayo.
Lagi kami nakikita and then, yeah, I always speak to him in English. You can, ano naman pala, understand Tagalog. Okay,
Yeah, no, I
game.
think it's
What about you, LJ?
My struggle.
Naging host na, no?
Well, I shared na, the biggest struggle one was the help, of course. I missed that, the comfort of just life there in the Philippines. I missed I was really close to my staff. Because as I mentioned, I had my bake shop. My commissary was downstairs. So I was so used to having so many people. Like I had my my right hand assistant Ate Be. She was with me for 10 years, like from the beginning all the way to the end. All my staff, they were like family, because my head baker, it was my driver's son that we trained. He was a dishwasher, and then we turned him into a baker. Like he grew up with us na. So that was like the biggest adjustment for me. And of course I miss my friends. Family, of course, my dad's there and all that. So that would be the biggest. I think that was the biggest struggle on my end. And then I saw there's a question: why not go back to the Philippines now? Well, you know what? I would. No, but right now, kasi, as far as like work is good, work. My husband has a like a good opportunity here, so we don't want to let that pass. So I'm just here to support him, of course. And right now, I feel like for the kids, because like yung kids in the Philippines, they're just now starting, actually after the summer break, mag face to face. So they've been online for 2 years. So for the kids, it's a lot better here. It was a lot better here, at least for the time. So, and a lot of opportunities sports wise. My kids are very athletic. So they have a lot of like great sports programs here. So right now we're here, but we're not closing our doors na bumalik sa Philippines, of course. Yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe, who knows, later on, diba?
Well, before we get to Garth and answering the same question that the viewer asked, I just want to, again, if you're just tuning in, today's episode is sponsored by Sendwave, and we're talking to LJ Moreno and Garth Garcia in celebration of Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. So obviously with this celebration and with us just learning about the stories and our heritage, especially with people who have come here from the Philippines. So Garth, let's just go ahead, and actually I want to get to this comment. Sami just said that that
I don't have an
I
extra
could
phone.
sing Tagalog well. I could sing and dance, and I don't think you don't want to hear me sing. We'll just have Garth sing later. Yeah, that would not be great to see. But like, yeah. So let's answer that question from a viewer. Question: why not go back to the Philippines with all the help? Sounds so much nicer there.
Why not go back to the Philippines? As I said, yeah, all my family's already here, so it's really a lot better na kasama mo yung family mo personally. It's really different pa rin yung you get to bond with them in person. Aside from that, I was already able to establish myself here. I'm already very comfortable with what I'm doing right now when it comes to my singing and of course my business. And sa Tagalog pa, bakit uwi pa ako, I'm earning a lot better here. Mas malaki kinikita ko so dito sa Amerika. But of course, from time to time, kailangan talaga nating bumisita pa rin sa ating hometown. We of course miss the Philippines so much. So from time to time we get I'll make sure that me, my kid, and my wife would get to visit some of our other families and friends in the Philippines.
We just got a question. I mean, besides making money, what do you enjoy about living here in the U.S.? Since you're still on screen, Garth, take this one.
Ayan, J.E. Pabalan. What do I enjoy here? Basically the big servings ng mga food, and then mga unlimited things. What else? The quality of life, as I said. As sinasabi nga ng marami, na as long as you're earning, as long as you have a job, you can eat whatever the rich and famous people can eat. So that's what I enjoyed about living in the US so far.
Well, just not eat everything. We kind of have a history of gout in the Filipino
Ano
community.
ba? Mali ang ano ko. Go ahead, Jason. Ano nga yan? ko lang sa ano ay matatanda.
I was just saying like we can't eat everything,
Oh,
especially
not
with the with gout in like being very prevalent in the
Hindi ko
Philippines.
nakasama ang
It's
ano,
really
crispy pata.
lechon and like patis. Yeah. What
Mm.
about you, LJ? Let's go to you. What do you enjoy most about living here in the US?
Well, it would be one of the main things is like the sports programs for the kids.
Mm.
I am a certified stage mom. Yes, no. So my son, my oldest son, he does baseball. Well, his only sport when we were in the Philippines was taekwondo, and then when he came here, he tried baseball. So now he's doing baseball. Then he started. He tried flag football. Now he's gonna start tackle football. He wants to try all these sports, and
Ooh.
then and then for my girl naman Kiona, she's into gymnastics, although she had gymnastics in the Philippines, but then she's also taking dance classes, and she just did her first play because she likes acting also. So it's nice that she could do training in that. And like I said, when we left, kasi everything was on lockdown, so everything was online. And alam naman natin, with kids, it's kind of hard to keep their attention on the screen for a long time. So it was hard trying to get a five at the time she was 5-year-old to do gymnastics by Zoom, diba?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so it was nice when we got here that they could do classes face to face. And then my 4-year-old, he's like so into basketball. And although basketball is a big sport in the Philippines, there they don't really start training them until they're around 7. But he's
Mhm.
actually in camp now, with with Coach Bobby Jackson. So he's training in his camp, and he's doing really well. He's 4 years old, but he seems like siya yung nakamana nung ano eh, ng talent ng dad niya. Siya talaga, he's like all about basketball, and he's only 4. So that's like one of the biggest things, I guess, the sports programs and the different programs for the kids. That's what I enjoy out here.
We have another question from Renee Garcia. What advice would you give our kababayans that would like to immigrate here?
What advice? Ano ba?
Mm.
Advice would be, ano ba? Garth, ikaw gusto, gusto mag-advise?
Diba? Relative ko ba yan si Renato? Hi, kamag-anak. Garcia, he's also Garcia. What advice do yeah, the advice that I would give is, when you're starting here, just, alam yun, just don't be choosy muna, start building friends, start building connections. And then, everybody starts somewhere, and then, just do do good, and then for sure you'll find your own success, because as they said, yeah, this is America, the opportunities are limitless. So yun lang, yun lang sa Tagalog, wag maging choosy if you're immigrating in the US at first.
I agree. I agree with Garth. Yun nga. Because here in the States, di ba? Sariling Sika Productions. Yun yung ano. One thing that I learned was acceptance is key. Kasi nung una, parang the first year, I was still like, I was here physically, but my heart and my mind was still in the Philippines. So it's just like, oh, I miss my life there. I miss the, so there were moments na I'd get sad, washing dishes, parang oh my gosh, parang naawa ka. But then tama naman, after a while, like I said, I have to accept this is the season. I like, this is the season God put me in my life, and I just need to be here, be present, and enjoy where I am, because not everybody gets the opportunity to get up and leave, get up and move to the States. There's a lot of other people, even in the Philippines, are like, you're so sad, but then you're so lucky because at least you guys have an option. You can, you could go to the States. We have to stay here, and at the time everything was on lockdown. So I was like, okay, yeah, that's one of the things is acceptance. Don't be choosy, and just be thankful for what you have, and where God has placed you for that season.
We have another question. The audience is very active right now. So there's another question. I think this is for you, LJ. Great
Okay.
insights. Thank you. My husband is asking, if you were a tourist with a 5-year-old for 2 weeks, where would you go? I said Boracay and Makati.
Oh my
Where
gosh,
should they go?
I would totally say Boracay. Boracay talaga. That's my biggest frustration leaving. I was like, oh my gosh, we're leaving, we're moving to the States, and we didn't get to go to Boracay after the. But they closed Boracay for 6 months,
Mhm.
and they
Mhm.
cleaned it and everything. We never got to go back after that. So yeah, I would say totally Boracay. That's like one of the and Davao, of course. Garth is from
I was
Davao.
Oh
gonna say,
yeah.
Yeah,
Gar, do you want to mention Davao or anywhere in
Pearl
Cebu?
Farm, diba? Pearl Farm is nice also.
Yeah, Pearl Farm is very nice.
Mm-mm.
And then Davao is very safe then in general and very clean. So, and the food is amazing. So you guys should visit Davao as well. Malapit lang din. It's a drive away to Siargao if you guys want to go to Siargao.
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
I didn't know. One hour lang pala from ano.
I mean, it's just a few hours drive
Oh, okay.
from Davao to Siargao. So yeah,
Yeah, that's one
killing
thing. We
two
have
birds.
beautiful beaches in the Philippines. Yun yung one of the things that I miss
I
talaga.
miss din. Yung dagat na hindi malamig.
Yun na nga, yung dagat na hindi lang pang Instagram, yung you can actually swim and enjoy the temperature of the water. Because here I'm like, we'll go to Newport Beach or, we'll go to the beach. I'm like, oh my gosh, you just dip your feet. And I was like, okay, all right, just take a picture and then let's go back to the
That's right.
Now I think we're now are starting to get that itch to go back to the Philippines so we can go take a vacation. I need to talk to the Department of Tourism. Maybe we could do a whole SoCal Filipinos
Oh, nice.
tour or something. But now, how do you stay connected with your family in the Philippines? Garth, you said that most of your family's here, but you still have family members in the Philippines?
Yeah, still have few family members and of course my wife's side and my cousins, and I have a brother in the Philippines then. Um, how do I stay connected? Yeah, social media, of course. We have we as families for sure kayo din. You guys have group chats as family on my side, on this side, on that side. So we have a lot of group chats of our family. So that's how we still get connected and check each other from time to time.
Hopefully drama free, no fighting in the group chat.
And then there's a lot of hi, your younger cousin is about to have a birthday. Baka naman, may pa-birthday ka. Joke lang. Sendwave ka naman dyan.
Yeah.
So, Sendwave is very useful.
What about you, LJ? How do you stay connected to your family in the Philippines?
Same thing. Social media is big. I said that also helped a lot during our move. Just imagine moving to another country without social media, right? Like or without video calls. But we're in a I don't know very advanced time. So same thing. FaceTime, video calls, group chats, all those different chats. I wouldn't say drama free. Parang parang hindi exciting pag walang drama.
Hindi exciting.
Oh,
pag
syempre
walang
may
drama.
drama kasama yan.
Yes.
But yeah, different. And then Garth mentioned earlier Kumu. So I do Kumu also. So Sendwave has helped a lot because I still stay connected with my staff. I do we like just last year we had last December we had our staff Christmas party via Zoom, and then I interview some of my staff naman on our Kumu show, and then we send like for Gcash. Sendwave has made it very easy.
Easy.
Yeah, like I don't have to go to the remittance center. I could just do it from the app. I just connected it to the because before what I would do was I'd have to go. I still have a bank in the Philippines, so I'd have to transfer from my bank there, and all that stuff, and then the fees and stuff. So when I was introduced to Sendwave, I started using that because it's so easy. You just do it through the app. Once you get verified and everything, it's easy to send. As a matter of fact, I just sent yesterday. And my friend, pwede pala sa Gcash parang over the limit of like the money that you receive. I said, okay, just give me your bank account. But I still did it through Sendwave, and she got it right away. So Sendwave has helped a lot in that sense, naman.
Yeah, and there's no fees for Sendwave, so I mean, really,
Yes.
And I want to say it has one of the highest also exchange rates also.
Exactly. And even if you send just $1, I mean, they get it. Just a perfect example, because if you use the code, I know there's a SoCal code. We also have, you get that $10 credit, and it is effective because I tried my code before. And I only sent $10, but she did get the extra $10 more. I was like, oh, she really received, so for first time users, if you use the code, you get that extra $10, which is really cool and very generous of Sendwave, huh?
Yeah, no, that was nice because I remember for the holidays, for Christmas, I sent it to my goddaughter, and she got the extra $10. So she got a
Right?
little extra surprise from Ninong.
Yeah, and even if you send $1 lang for the first time, you still get that extra 10. So you
Yeah.
can just send $1 and they already get what? Almost 600 pesos, diba? Kasi
Yeah.
kung 10 plus the $1, $11 parang. So it's really it's really something great to try, guys. Seriously. I'm really happy with Sendwave.
Garth, do you want to add anything about like how Sendwave helps you get connected or stay connected with your family?
Yeah, super easy. Yeah, last December, as you know, ang dami kong ang inaanak. I have like more than 10 of them. So GCash is the best, way to send them money. And, as a ninong, as a responsible ninong, and of course, you don't want to hassle yourself about sending gifts or going to the bank. So Sendwave helps a lot. And also with our business right now, we have some employees that works in the Philippines. So how we send them their salary is through Sendwave, and it's a lot easier. And once you save their information, it's just there from time to time, and it's cheaper.
Great.
So use Garth as your code right now.
Well, we're also promoting SoCal Filipinos, so you could also use SoCal Filipinos as
You
your
can also
promo code.
use SoCal Filipino.
Yeah, so I said you guys. So I said na lang code because I saw you guys were promoting SoCal.
Use Garth, use SoCal Filipinos, use whatever code to get that extra little credit. But we're gonna take a quick break and watch another video, and then we'll come back. So enjoy.
Just get a phone.
Oh, yes! Friend, anong meron?
Kailangan magpadala ng pera kay Mrs. Kayon.
As in now na?
As in!
Tingin nga.
Hoy!
Eto, mag-Sendwave ka na.
Fast, secure, daming payout options pa. No lines, no fees, no hassle, diba?
Switch to Sendwave na.
Break it down, yo!
Babayaran mo ba ito cellphone ko?
Isi-Sendwave ko na lang kay Mrs.
Thank you. Wasn't that a fun little quick break for our guests? Again, thank you again to all our viewers who are here watching. We are celebrating Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month with our special guests, both LJ Moreno and Garth Garcia. We have a couple questions that came through during that break. Garth, how about you take this one? Here in the U.S., we are exposed to many ethnic cultures. What are other ethnic food do you enjoy?
Yeah, because in my case, I live in Koreatown. So Koreatown is a place full of different ethnic restaurants. So I tried most of the Southern American cuisines here. El Salvadorian, food. She's asking food, diba?
Yeah.
Sorry. So I tried El Salvadorian. I tried Guatemalan. I tried Honduran food. I also tried, of course, mga Asians and Indians. But I enjoyed the most is, of course, I live in Koreatown, so there's like hundreds of Korean restaurants here. And, yung hindi ko alam na, may mga ganung food pala sa Korea. Because when I was in the Philippines, I only know Korean barbecue, mga ganyan. But here, since living here in Koreatown for like more than almost 3 years now, ang dami palang different variety of food sa Korea, and they're very rich when it comes to food and culture. So yeah, I enjoy so far is the Korean.
Awesome. What about you, LJ? What are some ethnic
I like
cuisines that you like?
Cuban and like the authentic Mexican food. That's what, like, even when we were still living in the Philippines and we'd come here on vacation, the authentic like taco trucks, and I really enjoy that. I'm big on that. And of course, I like Japanese ramen. The ramen's really good. So yeah, but like I'm a big fan of authentic Mexican food.
We have another question. Besides using Sendwaves, what are things you see Filipinos do here in the U.S. that makes you proud? Makes you proud more to be Filipino?
One would be like si Garth. Ang dami parang he's aside from doing like his medical business, he still has time to pursue his singing career, still produces like concerts and all that stuff. And it's just like lagi ko nga sinasabi na parang no matter where you place Filipinos, survivor tayo eh. diba? Parang we'll survive. We'll make something happen. And like you said, Garth just got his award. Entrepreneur, was it last year? The award that you
Oh,
mentioned
you're talking about Gawad America pala. That's this year,
this year.
November.
Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
So that's one of the things. And no matter how busy, no matter how, yun nga, sariling sikap production, like kasi nasabi, pag dito you
Dapat
make it
magkaroon ng
happen.
ganyang production.
Yeah, we're able to make it happen, and it's really nakaka-proud because even like we have our YouTube show, Wonder Mamas, and we were able to feature different Filipino businesses. And it's I know because like in the Philippines, I always say it's easier because it's easy to get help, diba? Because labor cost isn't as high. But here, like from interviewing different business owners, talagang from scratch, pati paghugas ng pinggan, everything, they do it on their own, but they're able to like put up these great businesses and sustain their businesses. So yun, syempre nakaka-proud maging Pinoy.
Of course.
What about you, Garth?
Ako naman, when it comes to being proud as a Filipino in general, nakaka-proud, seeing your kababayans excel, especially sa US. Yun naman sinabi niya, di ba, sa US. Like when last weekend ago, I was just so fortunate enough na ma-invite sa Billboard Music Awards, and I was there wearing my barong, and seeing Filipinos, and then mga Philam, they have blood, the Filipino bloods, and they really like recognize the Filipino sila in those fields na nanalo ng awards like Olivia Rodrigo, si Bruno Mars, and her. Naka-proud as a Filipino na these are Filipino Americans that recognize themselves as Filipinos, na they're making it that big. And me as an upcoming artist here sa US and in Filipino in general sa Philippines, then naka-inspire to become better and to do more, just to be like them or just a little bit like them. So yun, proud Pinoy.
Great. Thank you for that. I know there's more questions, but we'll get to that later. Like, there's a little game that we want to play here. We usually do this in our interviews. We call it this or that. You pick one or the other. There's no middle, and you can't say both. And if you want to give a reason, you can. So, cats or dogs? Garth, go.
Dogs.
LJ.
Dogs.
Chips or cookies?
Chips.
Garth.
Chips.
Call or text?
Text.
Both of you. Oh, you guys all on the same side. You guys are picking the same. Wealth or knowledge?
Knowledge.
Knowledge. Dress up or dress down?
Dress down.
Press down.
Pareho.
You two are picking the same one. East Coast or West Coast?
West Coast. Represent. Go put your hands up.
Spam or tocino?
Tocino.
Pinoy.
Tocino also, Garth?
Yes, tocino.
Let's see if you're going to be the same on this one. Pandesal or ensamada?
Pandesal ako.
Pandesal.
She makes pandesal.
Yeah, I make pandesal. So pandesal.
Pansit or lumpia?
Pansit.
Oh, Garth, what did you say?
Lumpia.
Lumpia siya.
Oh,
Pansit.
you're finally different.
Yeah.
The last one, island life or city life?
Island.
Garth?
City life, yeah.
Thanks for playing that game. Hopefully that was a little bit fun, a little bit break from just the questions that we have.
May prices ba yun? May Sendwave credits ba yun? Ano naman?
Oo nga.
Lucy, are you watching?
Hello.
They're asking. We have a question here. Why is it usually easier for Filipinos to integrate into American life than other Asians?
Thank you for that very wonderful question.
Yes.
Wow, beauty queen pala to.
Gusto ko yun.
Grabe ng mga patanungan dyan.
Well, I think like each,
Okay.
I'll speak a little bit onto it, but I think each culture is just different. And like the assimilation, obviously for us, we were colonized by the Americans. So we do have a lot of the traits and like the culture, and, English is one of our main languages. So which makes it easier for us to integrate into, the US society. For me, that's my feeling. Garth, LJ, if you feel any different.
Ako Ako naman, you know, tayo Filipinos, we don't have yung sobrang language barrier. We speak English very well. Hindi naman, not everybody naman na sobrang galing, but we were um, taught English sa school, and also we are known to be very hardworking. Sa personal experience ko to, when I was working with restaurants and also as a barista, they would say, "Oh, I love working with Filipinos because they're very hardworking and they're very loyal as a friend." Mga ganon. That's why we're madali tayong maka-integrate and maka-adapt when it comes to work related or as a lifestyle in the US.
Yes, I agree with both of you guys. The language barrier, it's not so big because nga like in the Philippines, just as an example, because Jimmy used to play in the PBA, right? So they would have imports, like American imports that would come, and they would always say na out of all the countries that they go to, they like going to the Philippines because it feels so close to home because there's a lot of English. Because even like the taxi drivers, even tricycle, pati nga si mamang nagtataho, kahit na marunong mag-English
They
yan.
can
Like,
English
diba?
themselves.
Yeah, they can
They can
English
English
themselves.
themselves.
They may have their own way of speaking English, but they
Mhm.
English themselves. So I think that's one of the big things. And then I agree with Garth na a lot of like people here, because even my mom, she's been living here for many years, and that's the same feedback that you would get, that they like working with Filipinos kasi hindi tayo namimili, and we go like above and beyond like what we're asked to do. Hindi yung parang, oh no, I was hired to do this, so I'm just gonna do this. We do more. So I think that's one of the great traits for us, and that makes it easy to integrate with here in the US.
Yeah. Thank you. Garth, what are some of the projects that you working on right now? I know that you just did a single release.
I just did a single release, and upcoming. You mentioned 4th of June, right? It's an event in Carson. I'm performing there.
Oh, good.
Also, Rachel Alejandro is also there. And then on what else? Upcoming projects. On June, mga shows na lang. No? June 10, I have a show, OPM Festival with Lani Misalucha. I'm also one of the producers. And then June 11, I'm performing in New York for their Independence Day celebration. That's the day after June 10. And 2nd of July, I'll be in San Antonio, Texas with Jaya. Yeah, and we have a show there.
Nice.
So far, yun pa lang.
Awesome. And then you're going to stop by the SoCal Filipinos 2nd year anniversary on June 18th.
I'll be there. Yeah. Someone mentioned June 18. Yeah, I'll be there. Again.
LJ, what about you? What are some upcoming projects that you have?
For now, well, we have a family YouTube channel, Alapag Family Fun. We have new videos every Wednesday and Saturday at 5 p.m. California time. So you check that out. It's basically me, the kids, and Jimmy, our family life. So we have that, and then I also have a YouTube channel with Rufa May. Garth was actually one of our guests, the Wonder Mamas, where we feature different places here in the U.S. and also different Filipinos and their businesses here in the U.S. That's on YouTube, the Wonder Mamas, and then on Kumu, I'm on Kumu. It's just really early in California kasi 5 a.m. every Sunday because that's 8 p.m. Manila time. So follow me on Kumu. My Kumu username is LJ Alapag. It's called Usapang Life with Mama LJ and Tita Ike. I co-host with my friend, and we like to feature different yung mga local town heroes. So we were able to feature yung ate na nagbebenta ng mais in their hospital in Cabanatuan. We were able to feature like I'd interview like my former staff, because I said most of the shows will interview other celebrities. So I said let's interview those from the hospital, yung mga security guard, yung mga unsung heroes that we don't read because their stories are really good and inspirational also. So that's on Kumu naman. That's all.
Jason, I forgot to mention pala. On Friday we have a singing competition. Also,
yes,
co-producing with Discovery Philippines. It's called Discovery Philippines. It's the biggest singing competition in the U.S. So it's happening this Friday, May 27th at the Envision Center. So we have singers from different states and competing for the finals and earn the right to represent the Philippines for Discovery Europe. So mananalo dun, papadala namin sa Europe to compete. That's gonna be on Friday. Jason, you're invited.
Wow.
You will be invited to host at the red carpet. Can you? Live invite, no?
Oh, okay.
If you're available.
And actually, it's not that far from me because I live in the valley. It's in, you said Envision.
Nice.
Yeah, it's in Van Nuys.
Yeah,
So
let's talk more. You should be a host at the red carpet. We already have a few. Sige.
Nice.
We'll talk more. So again, I know that you Garth, you have to run real quick. So one last time, let's plug our social media where people can find you. Garth, go.
Of course, quick shout out to Sendwave. Thank you so much for having me, and LJ, and of course Jason. SoCal Filipinos, thank you, Jason. I always see you around naman dito. So thank you. My handles are it's Garth Garcia on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. All Garth Garcia. I'm also on Kumu, Garth Garcia. Sendwave, Garth. Code Garth.
Yes. Okay, for me naman, my Instagram handle is at the Lollycake Chick, and then on Kumu it's LJ Alapag. Then Facebook, please follow me LJ Moreno Alapag, and also Alapag Family Fun on Facebook, and our YouTube channels, of course, the Wonder Mamas and Alapag Family Fun, and on TikTok it's LJ Moreno Alapag and Kiona. Because my daughter uses it a lot.
That reminds me, I need to follow you because I heard you dance, and I dance also.
Oh, you do? Okay, yeah, I dance while cleaning and all that stuff. So yeah, and of course, thank you so much to Sendwave. My code is LJ. Thank you, Lucy. I think is that Lucy from Sendwave watching?
Yeah, I think Lucy. She got. What was the question, Garth? That was you asking for credits.
Yeah, credits. Baka naman.
She's watching.
Yeah, so thank you, and of course thank you SoCal Filipinos and Jason for having us here. That was fun chatting with you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. So again, thank you LJ and Garth. Again, that was so much fun. So all of you that are watching, make sure you download Sendwave. Tell your friends and family. Again, use either one of their codes, but obviously I'm going to be pushing the SoCal Filipinos code. And get your $10 credit on your first transaction. Thank you to all our viewers who tuned in via SoCal Filipinos, whether you're watching on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. I think we're even on Twitter. So whichever where you're watching, thank you so much for joining us. Again, make sure you share this video, like, subscribe. Other than that, everybody, have a good night, and we'll see you at the next event.
See you.
Bye, everybody.
LJ, Francisco.
Bye, Garth. Bye. See you.
Jason.